Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the Road to Revolution. We're talking about the Texas Revolution, all the events that lead up to it, and today we're at the third one, the Laws of April 6, 1830. Doesn't sound very exciting. Laws of April 6, but these laws are so important to our story because without them we might not have had the Texas Revolution, or at least in the way that we know it. The last couple of videos we've talked about this sort of pattern where it looks like the same issues that happened with the Spanish missions and the reason why Spain lost control of Texas, from the natives rejecting it, and then they sent an official named Marquis de Ruby to look into it, and he made a recommendation to close the missions down. It seems that Mexico is following the same policy, where they had problems with the Fredonian Rebellion, and they sent Mir Terán last time to come look at it, and he discovered that there was a lot of issues, and he's going to make us some recommendations that will cause the Anglos to sort of overreact, or at least be fairly upset. Before we get into the Laws of April 6, I want to establish a few facts. Because they are in 1830, that's when they occur, and they mostly apply to the people, the Anglo settlers in Coahuila, Texas. Remember, Texas is not its own state, it's a part of another state in Mexico known as Coahuila. And the people involved are going to be the Anglo settlers, and the current government at the time was underneath a president named Bustamante, and he was a centralist. And if you remember, centralists want the central government, the national government, to have more power than the states. So he's going to be very much into controlling the situation. Remember, Mir Terán was sent to look at all the problems in Texas, and he discovered that, well, Anglos totally outnumbered Mexicans, 10-1. That slaves were in Texas when they should not have been, and that the Anglos were not acting very Catholic. They weren't acting very Mexican, and he saw American flags flying in 4th of July celebrations, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. These people are supposed to be acting Mexican. So he made a series of recommendations, and the president, the centralist president, his name was Bustamante, was determined to turn those into some very rigid laws. Those laws are called the Laws of April 6. And I want you to think about yourself if you were a settler in Texas and you heard these laws come out. You know that they apply to all of Mexico, but they seem to be aimed at you. So let's go over some of these laws. The first one is that we want more Mexicans to live in Coahuila, Texas. And the way we're going to do it is that if you're Mexican, you get to choose the best land. You also, it doesn't matter if you were even a prisoner. We're going to send prisoners into Texas. We're going to help those people get land. And if you're an Anglo and you want the same land, the Mexicans automatically get the best land. No more Anglos are allowed to cross into Texas. At the Sabine River, which is the border between Texas and Louisiana, we're going to make sure no one can cross. We're going to be watching the ports. It got so drastic at some points, they said, well, even if your family wanted to come, let's say you left some children or your wife, well, you know what? Sorry, tough luck. You are going to have to either go back and just stay in America, or you're going to stay here without them. So think about Anglo settlers who are seeing these things play out. We said no slaves, and we meant no slaves. If you have slaves, we're currently going to make sure that you can't buy anymore. We're also, if anyone who is a young slave, by the age of 14, they will be freed. So they're going to basically get rid of slavery by aging it out, by not allowing new slaves to come. And a lot of these Anglo settlers believed they had to have slaves in order to be successful, to farm all this land they got. We're going to send more troops. We're going to put more forts. We're going to put more Mexican soldiers in Texas. So if you were getting frustrated earlier with the presence of Mexican soldiers, well, get ready for us to double down on that policy. And finally, we don't want you to buy American stuff. You're supposed to be acting Mexican. You're supposed to be dressing Mexican. You're supposed to be thinking as if you're a Mexican. And we need to make sure that you have no ties to America. So we're going to put a tax on things that come from America. Anything that could come from America, we're going to put something on it called a duty. And a duty basically is a tax on goods from America. So something that normally would cost you $2 from America, let's put a tax on it, and let's make it more expensive so that you're forced essentially to buy from Mexico. Well, think about yourself as an American settler, an Anglo settler who's come to Texas, and you see all this stuff. Basically, the Anglos are outraged. They are going to lose their minds. They're going to be very, very frustrated. Now, this is not to say that the Mexican government was wrong. It's just to say that they kind of go from very, very hands-off to being very, very strict. And Anglos did not have really a chance to adjust. And you will see their reaction the next time we talk as we continue down the road to revolution. So you can understand the Anglos don't like centralist, they don't like Bustamante, and they're going to push for a government that gives them more power, and that will be a federalist government. And we will talk about the outcome of that in our next Road to Revolution video.